Most people believe laziness is a personal failure. They think it means they lack discipline, ambition, or strength. But what if laziness isn't a flaw at all? What if it is simply your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do: avoid discomfort and conserve energy? The human brain evolved to keep you safe, not productive. Whenever a task feels unclear, overwhelming, or emotionally uncomfortable, your brain sends a resistance signal. That signal feels like procrastination, avoidance, or laziness. But it's not weakness's protection. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for motivation before taking action. Motivation feels good, but it's unreliable. It depends on mood, sleep, stress, and emotions. When motivation drops, people assume something is wrong with them. In reality, motivation is often the result of action, not the cause of it. Your brain responds to momentum, not pressure. When a task feels too big, the brain shuts down. But when a task feels small and safe, the brain cooperates. This is the core mind hack. Reduce resistance instead of forcing efforts. Think about how often you avoid starting something because it feels mentally heavy. Studying, exercising, working on a goal are avoided not because you can't do them, but because starting feels uncomfortable. The brain exaggerates the effort required, making the task feel larger than it actually is. The solution is not more discipline, it's smarter design. When you break tasks down into the smallest possible action, the brain relaxes. Instead of "I need to work out," it becomes "I'll put on my shoes." Instead of "I need to study for hours," it becomes "I'll read one." Page action creates clarity. Clarity creates confidence. Confidence creates motivation. Another major reason people feel lazy is mental fatigue. Constant decision-making, screen exposure, and comparison drain cognitive energy. When the brain is overstimulated, it resists additional effort. This is why creating simple routines works better than relying on willpower. Routines remove decision fatigue and make action automatic. Your environment also plays a massive role. A cluttered space creates mental noise. A noisy digital environment creates distraction. Motivation doesn't live in chaos, it grows in simplicity. When your surroundings support focus, action feels lighter. Self-talk matters more than most people realize. When you label yourself as lazy, your brain accepts that identity. But when you see resistance as a signal instead of a flaw, you respond differently. Instead of self-criticism, you create solutions. Instead of quitting, you adjust the approach. Most people believe laziness means a lack of discipline or ambition, but in reality, laziness is often a signal from the brain. The brain is designed to protect you from discomfort, uncertainty, and wasted energy. Whenever a task feels too big, unclear, or emotionally uncomfortable, the brain activates resistance. That resistance shows up as procrastination, distraction, or the urge to delay. It's not because you can do the task, it's because your brain doesn't feel safe starting it. One of the biggest reasons people feel lazy is mental overload. Modern life constantly demands attention. Notifications, social media, comparisons, and endless information drain cognitive energy. When the brain is overloaded, it tries to conserve energy by avoiding additional effort. This is why even simple tasks can feel exhausting when your mind is already tired. Laziness in these moments is not weakness, it's mental fatigue. Another hidden cause of laziness is perfectionism. When people believe they must do something perfectly, the brain associates action with pressure and failure. This creates avoidance. The task feels emotionally risky, so the brain delays starting. Over time, this delay becomes a habit. The mind convinces itself that it will start later when conditions feel better, but those conditions rarely arrive. Motivation is often misunderstood. People think motivation should come first, pushing them into action. But psychology shows that motivation usually follows action. Waiting to feel motivated keeps people stuck. Small actions, even when done without motivation, send a signal to the brain that progress is happening. That signal creates momentum, and momentum naturally generates motivation. This is where the core mindset shift happens. Instead of asking, "How do I feel more motivated?" the better question is, "How do I make starting easier?" When tasks are broken into very small steps, the brain relaxes. Resistance drops. Action feels manageable. One small step leads to another, and soon the task no longer feels heavy. Environment also plays a powerful role in laziness. A cluttered space, constant noise, and digital distractions increase mental resistance. When the environment is simple and supportive, action requires less effort. This is why routines work better than relying on willpower. Routines remove the need to decide, and decisions are what drain energy the fastest. Self-talk is another factor that silently shapes behavior. When you repeatedly tell yourself that you're lazy, your brain adopts that identity. But when you reframe laziness as a signal to adjust your approach, you regain control. Instead of forcing yourself, you redesign the task. Instead of quitting, you simplify. Consistency matters more than intensity. Doing a little every day trains the brain to associate action with safety instead of stress. Over time, the brain stops resisting because the action feels familiar. Familiar actions require less energy, which means less resistance. Understanding laziness in this way changes everything. You stop fighting yourself and start working with your mind. And when the brain feels safe, supported, and clear, action becomes natural instead of forced. Consistency beats intensity every time. Doing a little every day trains the brain to associate action with safety, not stress. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes familiar. Familiar actions require less energy. Less energy means less resistance. It's also important to stop measuring progress only by results. When progress is judged solely by outcomes, motivation rises and falls emotionally. But when progress is measured by effort and consistency, motivation stabilizes. Showing up becomes the win. The truth is, you don't need to become a different person to stop being lazy. You need to work with your brain instead of against it. When action feels safe, your mind stops resisting. And when resistance disappears, momentum takes over. Staying motivated daily isn't about pushing harder. It's about understanding yourself better. It's about designing your life in a way that supports action instead of draining energy. Motivation is built, not found. So, when you feel unmotivated tomorrow, don't wait for inspiration. Do something small. Move forward imperfectly. Because momentum is stronger than motivation, and consistency always beats intensity.